watching Fox 10 Phoenix now.
We begin with the Fox 10 News Alert. Bad crash on the I-10, and it's slowing traffic in downtown Phoenix.
We've been on this, Anita, especially in all of our traffic reports since about 5 this morning. Anita's tracking it and has the very latest on what's going on downtown. What a mess.
Yeah, so we have that crash on the westbound lanes, but now a new one has just popped up on the board, and it's in the eastbound lane. So I'm going to talk about that as well, because it is definitely going to affect your commute, whether you're heading westbound or eastbound on the I-10. So this is I-10 westbound at 7th Avenue. This massive scene, multiple vehicles involved, unknown number of injuries, but we saw live this morning a number of people being loaded onto stretchers and into an ambulance this morning. Just mangled massive metal out there, unfortunately. So here's what's left of the scene. The good news is they've opened a couple of lanes of traffic, so you will be able to proceed westbound and then into the tunnel. I want to show you the backup that is resulting. This is 16th Street. So as you are entering from the 51 onto the 10, this is the backup that you're seeing heading westbound through the tunnel because of that crash. These are your drive times for you this morning. So, one more for you. I'm sorry. This is another crash that we have. I'm going to get you through that one in just a second. Eastbound 10, the stack to the mini stack. Your average time is dipping down to 21 miles per hour, 12-minute drive time. And then westbound 10, mini stack to the stack, 10-minute drive time. Your average speed down to 22 miles per hour. Northbound 17, the split to 7th Avenue. 5-minute drive time, your speed's down to 34 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and take remote 5 if we can. This is the crash that is brand new. This is eastbound I-10 at 19th Avenue. That crash has been moved over far left, but it is creating a massive backup for miles. We will have more on both of those incidents coming up for you in a full traffic report.
Oh boy. All right. So one issue cleared, now a brand new one popping up. Oh,
in the other direction.
Yes.
So we have eastbound and westbound troubles there near the tunnel in downtown Phoenix. Give yourself some extra time.
Next, a disturbing story developing in the valley this morning involving a granddaughter, a grandmother, and a mother.
Yeah, and this is a heartbreaking story. We have the details for you this morning. A mother and a grandmother arrested in the death of a 13-year-old girl who was reportedly being held inside of a makeshift cage. Well, Tempe police say officers went to the home of Virginia Lujan after she reported her 13-year-old granddaughter was not breathing. The teen, according to officers, died at the hospital. Doctors say she was covered in bruises and sores. The grandmother claims the teen girl fell down the stairs Sunday night, but detectives, they served a search warrant. They say they found a makeshift cage where the grandmother and the girl's mother, Jamie Hodges, admitted to keeping her there. Both the mother and grandmother now face felony child abuse charges.
Happening later today, parents and teachers are finally going to get a chance to get some answers about the next steps a Valley School District might take after learning it's gone millions of dollars into the red.
Dominic Newland live this morning with the details. Isaac Elementary School District Governing Board meeting, what they will do.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, this meeting will be taking place at 5 o'clock later on this evening at the Isaac Elementary School District office. And it comes just a week after a lot of people first heard about the shocking news. So you may remember an emergency meeting was held, and this involved state education as well as county leaders. The Isaac Elementary School District revealed it went more than $12 million over budget in 2024. And the board voted to place the district under receivership to oversee and manage its operations. The school receiver is expected to give information on plans to help the district rebound. The Isaac District runs 12 schools just outside of downtown Phoenix, and it's made up of more than 5,000 students and 700 employees. Administrators say that funds were in the wrong accounts. There were negative account balances as well as errors that were on financial reports. The district superintendent is blaming the overspending on an increase of grants. Now, one of the big questions coming tonight will include from district workers that they will get paid this week, as just last week it was announced that the district may not have the funds to make payroll. So affecting a lot of people here. Be sure to stick with Fox 10 for the latest developments on the outcomes of tonight's meeting. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Dom, thank you very much. Could the Phoenix Police Department be in the clear from any future federal government oversight.
So there are reports that new Trump administration policies would now put a pause on any activities related to consent decrees. For some background here this morning, the Phoenix Police Department was under investigation by the Justice Department for civil rights allegations. Fox News reports now the U.S. Department of Justice has ordered its Civil Rights Division to freeze all ongoing litigation from the Biden administration and halt new cases or settlements. This includes the Phoenix Police Department, which was under scrutiny after a 126-page report revealed a pattern of civil rights abuses, such as unjustified deadly force and discrimination. Well, the city and police were working on reforms, and they said, you know, we're not in favor of a consent decree that would have appointed a court monitor the city would have to pay for, very pricey, but would be appointed by the federal government. Well, supporters say a consent decree would ensure department improvements. It's been tried in other cities, extremely slow and costly. It is unclear if the Phoenix Police Department will face sanctions from these investigations. Community activists, they support the decree. City leaders oppose it. The DOJ has not commented. At 7:07 this morning, let's take you down to the southern border here as well in the border battle. A mass deportation of criminals here illegally is now getting underway.
New border czar Tom Homan announcing that Immigration and Customs Enforcement teams have already started arresting criminal non-citizens. He says the people in custody are, quote, public safety threats and in the country illegally, and have been convicted and arrested for serious crimes. The numbers, according to Fox News, now over 400 criminal illegal immigrants arrested in the first day and a half on the job. So new directives from the administration will allow arrests to be made in churches and schools, which rescinds a policy prohibiting arrests in, quote, sensitive areas during the Biden years. It's a move that's being criticized by some critics who call it harmful, but it's being praised by supporters who say it will allow ICE to more fully do its job. So in a statement, Department of Homeland Security described the move, saying the action empowers the brave men and women of CBP and ICE to enforce our immigration laws and catch criminal aliens, including murderers and rapists who have illegally come into our country. The White House has made it clear that U.S. troops, that's part of the long-term plan of protecting the border.
Today, the United States military, directed by the Department of Defense, has deployed troops, active duty troops and National Guards, men and women, to secure our southern border.
We don't have to listen to him. It's illegal. We don't have to treat this seriously. It's a joke.
Well, Democrats right now pushing back, and almost half of U.S. states are suing now to block Trump's effort to end birthright citizenship.
But there are some signs of a shift. Congress has now passed the Laken-Riley Act, which calls for the detainment of illegal immigrants who have been accused of committing crimes. 46 Democrats in the House voted alongside Republicans to send it to the president's desk. It's expected to be the first bill President Trump will sign into law since taking office. Well, there's a new fire that has broken out in the mountains north of Los Angeles, in the area around Santa Clarita, not far from Magic Mountain. It's already burned up 10,000 acres.
Yeah, it is called the Hughes Fire. Evacuation orders and warnings have been issued to more than 50,000 people. Flames were first reported late yesterday morning, but this fire really grew in strength as the afternoon hours yesterday really started to move on here throughout the afternoon. And those Santa Ana winds in the afternoon hours really start to gain some steam. This fire, the Hughes, is said to be 14% contained.
Arizona continuing to help in the battle against those fires. The State Department of Forestry confirming to Fox 10 that 2 of its task forces are still in California, and both have now been sent up into this area north of LA. L.A. to the Hughes fire. A woman facing second-degree murder charges. Wait till you hear this one. She's accused of killing her rideshare driver here in the city.
Well, investigators say Jordan Spalding was in an argument with her driver, Samuel Webster. Witnesses told police the car stopped near 40th Street and Baseline. Both of them then got out of the vehicle. That's when the 31-year-old suspect hopped in the driver's seat, ran Webster over several times. She is now being held on a $1 million bond.
A suspect behind bars and facing charges after a deadly shooting in the West Valley just days ago. Police say 51-year-old Vincent Damon Frago shot 30-year-old Ronnie Roper. It happened after a fight Monday night near 33rd Avenue and Indian School Road. Frago was booked on several charges, including second-degree murder.
14 suspected online predators are off the streets. Excuse me. Police in Apache Junction, along with other local and state law enforcement agencies, rounding up the suspects on felony charges nearly 2 weeks ago. They are accused of trying to lure children for sexual encounters. Law enforcement also seized drugs and guns, and police say none of the suspects live in Apache Junction, but traveled there to commit these crimes.
Well, Phoenix police are asking for your help in the search for a driver suspected of a deadly hit-and-run crash. Investigators say that it was early on Tuesday morning, maybe about 3 in the morning, when 38-year-old Andrew Worley was struck while crossing Broadway Road near 44th Street. The driver left the scene. Police don't yet have a description of the killer's vehicle. But if you have any info that could help, please call Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS. Developing at the state capitol, a bill has been introduced in response to acts of teenage violence in the East Valley.
A House Bill 2611 would add in penalties for aggravated assault charges if the attack involves 2 or more accomplices. The bill is named Preston's Law in memory of this young man here, Preston Lord. The teen died after a brutal beating outside of a Halloween party in Queen Creek in 2023. His death pushed the ongoing problems with teen violence in the East Valley into the spotlight. 7 suspects are charged in his death.
This morning in northern Arizona, Coconino County going to do its annual point-in-time count to document the number of homeless people living in the area. Workers, along with community volunteers, will hit the streets to locate as many unsheltered people as they can find. Can you imagine out there in that cold around the Flagstaff area? The count is required by the federal government, Housing and Urban Development. The data will then help to determine funding for services. Here in the valley, with a large homeless population, Maricopa County will be seeing cities do their annual count next week.